I just saw A Star is Born again, and I cried again. Hello. So as you may see from my face, I'm a hunk of burning flesh, so I'm gonna keep this quick. I just finished writing a super shitty essay that I'm gonna turn in anyway, so I thought, what a great time to update the fam. I'm basically drowning in schoolwork this week because there's so much to do for all of my classes. So far, the only time that I've had to read is not even physically reading, but listening to an audiobook, which is still reading. And the only time that I've really had to do that is when I take my dog for a walk. While I am doing that, I am listening to Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I think that's how you say her name. If not, drag me, correct me, love that. This story is essentially about a Chinese American family. At the very beginning of the book, one of the daughters dies, but it's not really so much about her being dead, but rather just the communication and the lives of this family and how certain events in their past have influenced their current situation. It's just a really subtle novel that's focusing on a family dynamic, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I really like the audiobook narrator, and I really enjoy the writing. It's just so, I don't know how to like put it into words. Like, it's not trying to be extra showy or flowery or anything. It's very, I don't want to say simple, because I think that's kind of an insult sometimes. So I think the best word is really subtle, because it's just subtly telling this story and weaving in these different connections and character traits, and it's just really beautifully done so far. I have no idea what our end goal is going to be here, but I'm interested to find out. Happy Friday! A bench is going to see The Hate U Give. I'm so excited. Just out here hanging with Randall Cobb. Great dude. Jared Kramer, great man. Donald Driver, love him. So I have a couple things that I want to accomplish today. First of all, I have some homework to get done. Secondly, I would like to finish the audiobook that I'm listening to, which is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I don't know how far I am into it exactly, but I think I'm nearing the end. And all of this I would like to accomplish before 7, because at 7 it's the Brewers game and it's do or die. If they win, they go to the World Series. If they lose, our playoff run is over. It's currently 2:15. I feel like I've just left myself too much to do for this weekend without realizing it. But you know, it be like that sometimes. Also, an update on the Hate U Give movie. It was fan-freaking-tastic. Please go see it if you have the opportunity, because it was just amazing. It was not only good just as a movie, but it was such a faithful adaptation. I haven't cried multiple times in a movie in a very long time, so good job to The Hate U Give for making me sob. So it is now 3:50. I just finished listening to Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. My rating is somewhere between a 4 and a 4.5. Overall, it was such a well-written, interesting look at this family dynamic and the way that we communicate and the ways that we don't communicate, as well as the little things that happen in our lives that end up shaping us for the rest of them, even when we don't realize it. The way that the author was able to just take all these little bits and pieces and weave them all together so excellently to create such well fleshed out characters. These are probably some of the most intricately written characters that I've read about in a while. We just get to see so many little bits and pieces that just affect the story so much, and I think that was really, really cool. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this book. It was so well written. It's such an interesting character study, and as a communications major especially, I'm just like, oof. The communication in this is not very good, but that's what makes it so good. Now I should probably work on my second task of finishing my short story. It's basically finished. I just have to do a little bit of revision work. I don't really want to do it, but I gotta. I just realized I have to read not 1, but 2 whole books by the end of this upcoming week. One is Jane Eyre for my women's lit class, which I actually was excited to read because I've never read Charlotte Bronte before. I've never read Jane Eyre, so I thought, you know, this would be a good time to do it. But then for my dumbass history class, which, why did a bench take this class? Why did she think it would be good? I have to read this freaking book, the entire thing, King Leopold's Ghost. Now, I was planning to read this out slowly, and I thought I had planned correctly based on the schedule. But alas, I realized that the review that I have to write for this is due next Monday, so not as in like this upcoming Monday, but like the 29th. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. And I'm really salty because basically we had to pick one of 3 books to review. The people that reviewed the first book had 1 week where the only reading for that week was to finish that book. But for my week, we still have all of our normal homework, big old chunkin' chapter from our history text, and everything else that we normally do. And I don't fucking get it. Why did the other people get so much time, but I just... Okay, I need to stop ranting and start reading King Leopold's Ghost. I'll let you know how it is. Oh, and to make matters worse, I decided that this spoopy season would be a good time to finally tackle The Diviners by Libba Bray. I've always been hesitant because I'm a big old baby, but Whitney really loved it and I always listen to her now, so I went to get the audiobook like a week or 2 ago and it was, you know, checked out. So I put a nice old hold on it and it wasn't coming in. It wasn't coming in. Minutes after discovering that I need to read both Jane Eyre and this dumbass book, I get that library notification. The audiobook you had on hold was automatically borrowed for you. It's not fair. It's not fair. It'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that sometimes. Maybe next year. Okay. Miss Bibby. Hello, wasp. Please go away. Please do not sting me, because I am not here for you. Oh my god, please go away. Please go away. Why are you crawling on the ground? What's it gonna do? I could literally just stop on it, but oh shit, it heard me. It heard me talking shit. Okay, I was just nicely sitting against this wall, but this little hoe-ass bee decided that that's its territory, so it's yours, buddy. I'll just go over here. Hello from outside my psychiatrist's office. I just got done with my appointment, so I'm sitting here waiting for the rideshare medical thing that I use to come pick me up. While I wait, I'm going to read Jane Eyre on my phone. I did also start The Diviners yesterday on audiobook. I didn't get very far into it because I really only listened to it a little bit while I was walking my dog and a little bit as I put my clothes away last night. But I'm enjoying it so far. The audiobook seems like it's going to be really great. Am I going to be that hoe that buys Throne of Glass on the day it comes out? I guess I am. I shouldn't buy this because I'm already spending way too much money in this store, but I need it, so we doing it. Who's ready for a Target/mail haul? So as you saw at Target, I was in the book section and did a little bit of damage. I got Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas. This is the last book, thank God, in the Throne of Glass series. I definitely don't feel the same way about the series as I did in the past. I am not even that excited to read this, but I've read, what, 7 books in this series now? I'm not gonna not read the conclusion. And then I got The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kirsten White. If you watched my last video, you would know that I made this one of my 5-star predictions, so I'm super excited to read this. It's normally lengthed. But then the main reason I went to Target is because Mamma Mia 2 came out on DVD today. It's so pretty. I'm so excited. I can watch it as many times as I want. And then for the mail portion, I was surprised by a lovely package from Miss Woody Novels. She sent me Witchwood by Tahira Mafi, which I need to read because I never read it, and it's out in paperback and it's perfect. And there's a card in here I didn't even notice. Oh my god. Oh my god, the cards for my dog. This is so cute. I'm gonna have to go give this to her. And she also sent me her extra copy of The Awakening by Kate Chopin. I read this for class this year and I absolutely adored it, so thank you, Miss Whitney. This was such a lovely little thing to come home to. I have a book that I need to send her because I don't want it anymore and she does, but it's just so hard for me to get to my post office because it's in an area of town that my mother does not like driving to, and I'm a bench without a license, so, but I'm gonna get it to you eventually, Whitney, I promise. Update, there was also a card for me and it just says rate restore me 5 stars. Okay, it doesn't look nearly as cool on camera, but do y'all see the moon? Oh my god, she looks orange in real life, but she's like that big and she looks so good. Oh my god, Miss Moon, thank you for stepping out tonight. A bench has no reading updates because school is just too much, but I do have chips, salsa, a ham and grilled cheese. Excuse me, did she just say ham and grilled cheese? And we're about to take a little break and watch Jenna Marble's new video. My dog's trying Halloween costumes too. I'm so excited, oh my god. Hi sisters! Today is Thursday, yeet yeet. Again, my only reading update is that I've been reading Jane Eyre. I need to be reading it faster because I don't think I'm even halfway through. But the reason I picked up the camera is because I got a package today and it is books. So I thought, why not open it on camera? Oh my god, what happened to my voice? I suddenly sound like I've been smoking 5 packs a day for 20 years. Here's the package. It's from Target. Basically, I wanted this one book that I couldn't find on Amazon in the edition that I wanted it. So I found it on Target for cheaper than it was on Barnes & Noble. And then I had to buy other books in order to get that free Target shipping. You know what I'm talking about. Let's get this bread, sisters. For someone that loves packages, I sure never get any better at opening them. So the first book that I see in here when I open up the package is Bright We Burn by Kirsten White. You may recall that Conqueror Saga has become one of my all-time favorite series this year, but I never got around to buying the third book because I read an arc of it. Thanks, Whitney. So I saw Target had a beautiful signed copy, so I said, hey, hell yeah. The next book is one of the books I mentioned in my previous video about my 5-star read predictions, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is about an old Hollywood actress who is telling all her secrets to this journalist for the first time ever. And the last book, the reason that I started this little haul in the first place, is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is the current cover that they are going with this series. Literally every time a book has come out in this series, they've changed the cover for it, which is the most frustrating thing I could ever think of. I really love the glowy text. It looks so good. And they did not have this edition on Amazon. They only had like the second, I think, remake, or the third. I don't even freaking know. Hello from your favorite trash monster. So it's been a minute and I have some updates. On Friday, I finished Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. First of all, I was boo-boo the fool. I thought that I had to read all of Jane Eyre this week, but I only had to read half of it. But yeah, I finished it and I enjoyed it for the most part, even though I was reading it for school and I felt super rushed, even though I didn't have to be that rushed. I really enjoyed Jane as a character. She really had a firm idea of what her beliefs were and she held on to those despite what other people would tell her, especially for a woman in her era. I think she just did a really great job of standing up for herself and standing up for what she believed in. Even when she made choices that I personally didn't agree with, she was still making those choices firmly because it's what she believed, and it was nice to see such a headstrong female character in this time period. What brought the book down for me was that it was just so overwritten. Part of it could have been because I was rushing for school, but there were just parts that did not need to be as long as they were, whether it be description or inner monologue or even dialogue at points. Charlotte Bronte, did you not know what editing was? Because your book needed it. I'm sorry, honey. But other than that, like I said, I did really enjoy it and I gave it 4 stars. Then, as you remember, I also had to read a whole ass history book this weekend. To my surprise, I actually finished it last night, and that is King Leopold's Ghost by Adam Hochschild. I will say that I kind of skim read this a little bit, but that was mostly because, like Jane Eyre, my biggest problem with this was that it was way overwritten. There was just way too many details that I don't believe I needed to know. Like, there was just at one point they were talking about this character's fiance who he ended up not even marrying, and like the letters that she wrote to him and how she enjoyed the opera and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is not information that I need. However, I also did find myself liking this one more than I thought I would. The narrative is just really compelling and interesting to read about. It's a really horrific time because it talks about the Congo and how King Leopold II really colonized that land and all of the millions and millions of people that died there because of it. The way that King Leopold was able to manipulate his peers and make them believe that he was this humanitarian when that is the opposite of what he was both horrifying and really interesting to read about. But I feel like this is a time period that in high school I did not learn about, so I'm glad that I had the chance to learn about it in college. I gave this one 3.5 because like I said, overall I enjoyed it, but it was just way too overwritten in my opinion. But if you enjoy historical nonfiction, I would go ahead and pick this up if it sounds interesting. Now today I am throwing a little Halloween party, and by party I mean it's basically just for me and then my family because they live here. I'm making just a couple cute little recipes that I saw on Pinterest that I thought would be fun and festive. I have my cool Halloween leggings to wear to be, you know, extra festive, extra spoopy. So I did my niece's makeup today for Halloween. She's a fairy. Do you like it?
Yeah, I really like it.
Call me for all your fairy makeup needs. The first spoopy snack has been made. It is Rice Krispie treats turned into pumpkins with little Tootsie Rolls for the stem. Love me time. Getting pizza. So this is the result of the spoopy party. We got these bats and cats and whatever things, pumpkin Rice Krispies, spoopy kebabs, Mr. Frankenstein with some grapes, and of course, some delicious jack-o'-lantern floats.
Everyone hail to the pumpkin king!